Should we? I don't know how to do this. This is so fucking weird. Come on, full screen, maybe. Okay, there's that.
All right.
Let's do this like it was for real.
Okay.
Everybody's watching this looking at a blue screen right now.
It is blue.
Actually, I've got a second camera going here, so we can wave to that camera and show that we are 6 feet apart.
Yes. 2 meters in European.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to what I so incredibly ingeniously decided to come up with the name of Old Guys Watching Old Bike Races. This is a first for Packfiller. This is a first for, well, it's a pandemic. What the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
Paul and I are in studio right now. As you can see from our camera, that we are indeed 2 meters apart. Well, hopefully. Just sneeze that way.
All right.
And for your viewing pleasure, we're going to enjoy CBS broadcast from 1988 of the Paris Roubaix. Now, you know what?
This was my choice.
This was your choice. I need a moment of silence. We're supposed to fucking be at Paris Roubaix. We were supposed to be there today. And I just want a woe is me type of a moment. And I also want to potentially take blame for this entire pandemic. I think it's my fault.
I'm starting to think you're a narcissist because anything that goes bad, you think you have some kind of control over it. You got a God complex or something?
No,
but go ahead.
I'm Charlie fucking Brown complex is what it is. Everything that goes wrong for me. Because I finally got the opportunity to do this dream trip and a global pandemic broke out. What are the chances of that?
Not very good. We should have got lottery tickets is what we should have got.
No, I wouldn't have won. Remember, it's bad shit that happens to me. It's not good shit. You know, it's like if somebody's going to flat, I'm going to be
Here's the deal, too. The temperature there today was 74 degrees.
Oh, no shit. Really?
74 degrees.
And sunny.
Yep.
I would have liked a wet Paris Roubaix, but...
Yeah, unless you're standing on the side for hours on end.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to go by, and your teeth are chattering, going.
Yeah. Well, if you are listening to this podcast and you want to actually follow along with the video we're going to do, we have the YouTube original video up from the 1988 Paris Roubaix. It is a 37-minute and 1 second television broadcast from back in the day, and so if you want to follow along with us in that form, you may do so. If not, this video in its entirety will be placed up on packfiller.com. Well, if you're listening to it or watching it, you're probably found it.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for the show. I just want everybody to know I'm not prepared for the show.
This is the exciting part. We'll see. This might be it was kind of a pretty novel idea to do.
Yeah.
And you put it together. I said, hey, could this happen? And the third person is supposed to be here.
We can give him some shit.
Yeah,
this
we should.
To be here,
we should.
Yeah.
Because this is the shit that we do in the wintertime. So it was like
You
kind
two.
of us two drinking beer, and then we make comments on all these type of deal. And then I pitch it to you.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, all right, I'll see if I can do it. You go through this hard work, and Dave, like a fart in church, says, I can't make it, you know. You know. God.
You know, and bless his heart, but he's probably just sitting at home drinking PBRs or something like that. He's going, fuck him, I don't want to go.
Yeah. Well, and I try to bait him with good Belgian beer because he has been working out of town, and he's been drinking hams.
That's what it was. I've seen
Hams.
PBR, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
hams.
Hams, yeah.
So that alone is grounds for... Because Dave's better than that. But no, you know, you drink what you deserve.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, you've got the St. Bernardus out. That camera's right there. That flashing thing in front of you.
Yeah, right here.
Brought out the good shit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's the reason I brought it is because on Facebook or one of your social media, you said, what are the odds that Paris Roubaix will happen this year? And I said, I was the first one to respond to it. And I said, it will happen. And if I'm wrong, I will drink a St. Bernardus ABT12.
oh,
And then, of course, Sam, who brought that nasty stuff that one time.
the Steel Reserve or whatever.
Yeah, 211 crap. And I lost the contest like I always do on this show.
Yeah.
I had to take a swallow of that and about puked. I think it took years for it to, not years, but months
Weeks,
for me to,
yeah.
weeks and maybe a month to get it out of my system.
Now,
So anyway,
So
if I'm going
this-
to punish myself, I'm punishing
you're punishing yourself.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but I had to go ahead and
So
make
you're,
that thing.
you're
so.
punishing yourself with the best beer in the
Yeah,
world.
because
Gotcha.
if you catch the little drift, it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's happening,
Yeah.
and I'll drink this beer. If you could read between the lines, I guess. It's like I didn't think it was going to happen.
All I know is I saw Thomas DeHent had a full refrigerator of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that makes me kind of like that guy even more, even though he did these the Zwift Flanders race that you weren't a fan of.
No, you know, it had not potential. I don't think you could say. I don't know. It was something to do, kind of like I'm at home licking my wounds because we weren't there.
Yeah.
There's no racing. I turned it on, and I'm thinking, get into this. Don't stay negative. Oh God! And next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I forgot I have it on.
Yeah.
You know, I just walked away. So yeah, anyway, it's not my type.
All right.
My
So
type.
1 week after Flanders, the end of Holy Week is upon us. Paris Roubaix. First of all, before we even get into the video, could I ask you what your reasoning? You don't have to. You can post spoilers if you want. I'm sure if people, people don't know who won in 1988, they probably we don't have to hide it from them anymore. But
They should know.
what was your reasoning for choosing this particular edition besides its 37-minute runtime?
On a personal level, this was like I'd been racing for about 2.5, 3 years at this point, but unattached. And I joined my first team in '88, and so then I was just totally over the top. And this race, the way it was done is like you and I were talking about John Tesh doing the music.
Oh, I love it.
They
It's
get to
so-
hear it, and they get to.
It's so beautifully bad.
It's so but in the time you caught up with it, and it seemed to fit, and it seemed to work.
Yeah.
And it is very nostalgic for me. And the way it ends with Dirk de Mol, who I really admire, because he got the call. He wasn't supposed to do this race. Here's a little tidbit. He was called I think the day before or something. Said,
Wow.
"Hey, we got a guy out. You got to come." Okay. And his job was to go on the lead breakaway, and it sticks.
Yeah.
And he wins, but he wins
In a very
famous
peculiar
way,
manner.
and
So-
we'll leave it at that.
Okay, here we go. So basically, you and I are going to be the old men in the Muppets up
All
in the
right.
balcony just making catty comments over the top of... I do have the audio from the actual video, so it'll be playing at a lower level, so hopefully our voices will carry over the top. So without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. 1988, Paris Roubaix. And I hit pause. Oh, hold on. Technical glitch.
Oh,
See, you know what? If it all went perfectly every time, where would be the fun in that? So I got to go up here. I got to make sure. See, boys and girls, this is what you should check before you actually go live with a podcast, or you should be smart enough to edit said podcast. But this guy doesn't.
I'm Phil Liggett.
Here's
There
Phil.
we go.
You know, it was 4 years ago when we started bringing you these exclusive pictures of this famous race here in northern France.
I keep waiting for him to open up that trench coat and go,
especially look at his hands where they're playing.
Greatest riders in action. Some have prevailed and actually already
No, this is
prevailed,
what got me
but
into
the
it, because
majority
4 years
certainly
ago they
haven't.
did bring
They
it.
failed and literally
It's Sean
fallen
Kelly,
on the
and
roadside
this got
of
me
the
into
cobblestones
bicycles.
of northern
This did.
France.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is these
This-
riders that has made this event the
Paris
most
Roubaix,
romantic and
CBS
the most
coverage
challenging in the
with
world of
John
cycling.
Tesch's beautiful
Riders whose names
music.
you'll never know,
Priceless.
and
He's the
neither are
Jackie
we
Stewart
likely
of
to.
cycling back
And
in the day.
riders
He had that
indeed who have
young...
shown a braveness and courage
He just looked like a
strictly for
car
their
driver
sport.
or a horse.
This race is
Phil?
dedicated to these riders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we'd like you to join us once
Yeah,
again
it had a head of hair.
to
This is
Roubaix.
my favorite part of this. He just turns around and
know.
walks, and
This
they
is-
keep the camera going.
The
But watch this. Wait. Where'd he go?
But this is high tech back then.
This was.
It really was. And not that.
It's
No.
not
No.
quite the oldest single-day race in the world, but Paris Roubaix has always been the one that has offered the ultimate sporting challenge. For almost 100 years, the race has been a battle of survival.
Now this
leaving
is
only
bike
a few
racing.
to fight out the finish in
These
Roubaix.
guys, just stacking it up.
The image carried by all who ride or watch this race is this.
Front pockets are
One of
full of
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Looks like some sort of horrible growth coming out of their chest.
Totally
But
committed to prove that to merely finish
That last guy
is
needed
worthy of
somebody
the
to
honor.
undo his toe
toe
straps.
slips.
Recent images eerily reflect the old.
Bruno, what's your neck?
You know these people.
Yeah, I do. Not personally.
Yeah.
And refuses to step into the new world.
No helmets.
None. There's a couple of soft shells, but here's these. This is the third year that 7-Eleven raced
Okay.
in it. I can name all those guys too.
Really?
But anyway, they're running Giro Pro Light helmets. They were and everybody else had either casquettes, hats, or
With the Lycra cover on.
yeah. Yep.
The artisans have always been here. We came in 1984. And since
So you've been there.
every facet
Yes.
of this
In
cruel
case
event.
people didn't know, oh, there's the king himself.
Yep. He's wearing the beard of mud.
In our first year, Sean Kelly gave Ireland their
Road
first
quality.
victory.
Do you think?
It was also the
Do they
year
maintain the
prices
road quality up,
revised.
or is it just kind of deteriorated over the years?
So
Best kid of all time, by the way.
Was worth the money.
you like the Renault Elf?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also the first year for American Greg LeMond, but
He
failed to
didn't do
finish.
so well. He didn't finish that year,
No.
84. But actually, he's a strong rider. The roads, all the cobbles, you can't see them, but they're underneath there. They were starting to get covered up and stuff, and then they found the importance of these small communities, like people from all over coming to watch this race, and so they started preserving them. And Orchy, where we usually go, it's just a farm track. It's
Okay.
like maybe 8 feet wide and crowned like you wouldn't believe, and dirt in between. So
Oh.
a little bit of mud, you look like
That
like
was a beautiful year.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It's
I
been
remember
pretty
this
dry.
crash.
That's Bruno Weschenegg.
Do
you see this? Do you see those pedals? I wish we could go back. Anyway, the pedals on there, there was a part that they used to have a lever and lock in. You remember those?
Oh, yes.
I think that was it. Listen, this lady laughs at Greg
She
LeMond.
was laughing at
Yeah.
him, wasn't she? I always wanted to realize if she was laughing at him back
She
in the
was.
day.
He had to get away. She was laughing at his French. He was saying something in French. She's like, oh, that's not
Last
right.
year, Kelly, still the world's #1, was in front again, but this time chasing a virtual unknown by the name of Patrick Verslice. But it was
God,
the
look at that
roads again
hunchback.
who wrote
Look
the
at everybody's
script.
position. Look at the gear cluster. If you do close to Sal,
Falling near the
Yeah.
finish, including
Crash.
Kelly, who was pushed back into the fray too late to stop the Belgian superstar Eric VANDERAERDEN from catching Verslice.
Oh my
and
God!
winning
You know,
the
there's
race.
so many names that I have forgotten. And for those of you who aren't really into the age of cycling, you'd do yourself some good to go back through some of these videos and watch some of these things. Not to sound condescending, but
especially anything with Tesh music in it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Since 1967, Compiègne, 50 miles north of
There were
Paris,
specific John Tesh songs that I would sing to myself when I was writing, and I'm confessing that to everybody right now.
And with 3 major wins already
There's
this year,
Eric
he's
Van
again
der
a
Arden.
favorite.
Over-raced,
The
they
last rider
said.
to win
Oh,
twice
really?
in succession was the Italian Francesco Moser.
They put him in
8 years
everything.
ago.
I think 2-time
Sean
Belgian
Kelly,
champion.
the
I
Irishman
think
who's
2
been the
times.
world's #1 since rankings were first given in 1983, is also back. Win
He
number 3
talks
is
not
on his mind.
back then. He talked like he had a mouthful of marbles. You interviewed him a while back, and he was a lot better.
Bob Roll was the only 7-Eleven
Young
team
Bob
finisher
Roll.
in '86, and the only American to finish.
He had
last
hair
year.
under that hat, I'm pretty
He's
sure.
joined this
Yes, he
time
did.
by young Roy Nickman, whose
And you
bicycle
remember him?
talent
He
is
came to
seen as
Spokane and raced here.
exceptional.
Yeah. Roy was.
He was
Roy
the
had
man.
boatloads of potential, but I don't know if it was.
Andy Hampston.
I mean, it'd be interesting to talk to Roy about some of those situations. I don't know if it was just American life. He maybe had a life established here that kept him
Yeah.
from really making that jump over to.
He was in that. You'll see he's in that break, the original break that sticks. I think it's still the long. This is the longest break still to have a winner in Paris Roubaix, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. Quintessential Frenchman, right there.
I bet he's a prick too.
Yeah. Well, he is French. I'm judging you from over here.
With more on that, here's Tim Brandt.
Okay, another sports coat in 3, 2, 1. Oh, the video's skipping. There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
And check out the dew.
So, do you think CBS issued trench coats?
You know, nowadays they just have polos with logos, but
Yeah.
back then they had these wonderfully rapey trench coats.
Rapey? Or is that a word?
It is now.
Do you have the? I'm looking for that rapey raincoat I see on
It's a
TV.
nice jacket, but I'm needing something a little more.
Covers up
Rapey.
down to here.
Requires sacrifice. To win, you must be willing to risk
Out of
it
hair, out of place.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh,
Here
this.
comes the graphics and
Yeah.
stuff. It's awesome.
Just let this go.
Out of the water.
This. It's like a apocalypse movie. Where's John Cusack? Oh my God. And that was badass in the day.
It
too.
was. Yeah, I mean, I remember getting scared seeing that.
For the start, 199 slips from
Same
many
team
nations
that,
prepare for the beginning of this torturous tour.
Ruel.
Caja Rural. Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
Due to injury. This cloudless, crisp morning is also a
And some
surprise.
top trees.
It's been 6
You're not in
years since
northern
the
France or in
race
Belgium
had
unless you
anything
see
but
top
menacing.
trees.
The
You know,
calm
top
demeanor of
trees.
the cyclists
They
belies
just
the
top 'em.
intense
They're
unknown.
like
They must
if
feel
you look.
inside, knowing what's ahead.
Maybe this might be dismount. I wonder if.
They just saw the top.
Yeah, they just chop everything
The
down.
winner will not carve his niche, but chisel it in the history books of racing.
Oh, the music.
Yeah, here it is. Now, did your band? Did you guys have a synthesizer?
No, unfortunately.
Look what
no.
you guys missed, right? Put it in trumpet mode.
This just needs the lyrics like, oh, you're up for the challenge. No way you're gonna let the bad guys win. You're the best in the business. Living in a world of sin.
You just made that up, didn't you?
Yeah. I could keep
Nice.
going.
No, that's all right.
Oh my God, I know the music.
You probably had the cassette tape.
I used to go on rides with my cassette Walkman. And some long rides, I would actually take like 6 cassettes.
What'd
So
you
I
use
could
for
switch in and
headphones?
out.
Because they had the.
This was just the earbuds that popped into your head, and I ran them down the back of my jersey, inside the jersey. And I didn't have, I couldn't afford an actual auto reverse Walkman.
Yeah.
So I'd actually after every side, I'd have to, first crash.
Yep. Overlap wheel. The worst is when somebody overlaps your wheels. It's there, you have that moment to think, it's like, I'm totally fucked here. I'm going to be eating pavement.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's broken. Yep.
The two-time winner always controls the pace and commands respect from everybody with aspirations of winning here. No serious contender is likely to make a move until he does.
That guy was all over my wall. Most people put up, sexy pictures
Sean Kelly,
on their
not-
wall.
not
I
Eric
had
Vander Arde.
I had Eric Vander Arde on my wall, but mostly Sean Kelly.
How about Laurent Fignon?
God rest his soul.
Well, that's what happens when you do steroids. You got a short life.
Yeah.
He admits it in his book. He used to go out 8 hours riding
Only 26 miles after leaving Compiègne,
with,
the attacks
I
begin.
think, just water,
Almost
no
by
food.
tradition, a
8
group
hours.
escapes
Really?
early.
Just try to train his
Rarely
body to
succeed, but
suffer.
that doesn't stop them trying. And
Holy
one of
shit.
those who wants to try is
There he is.
American Roy
There's
Nickman,
Roy.
who quickly slips into the first
Look at the
gear
helmet.
attack of the day.
And good form, too. I mean, he's got a good pedaling style.
Yeah.
70 what degrees?
74.
Today?
It was
Seen this all
74.
before. Roubaix is still 140
Oh.
miles away, and there's no need yet for urgency, especially with the cobblestones
Bob.
to come. Bob
He's-
Roll has reason to
Now,
smile.
which one's wearing the better hat?
And his
Who
teammate
looks better?
Bill up or
is
Bill
out in
down, you're
front.
asking?
Yeah,
Bill
between-
down.
Down to the front and with air.
Yeah.
With Luft.
But the 13
Luft?
spring
Yeah,
laps
it's
of
air
Paris
German.
waste no time. If the pack are ambling, they aren't. And with 11 teams represented in this front group, they combine as they speed towards
God.
the
There's
first
that-
of the
the music.
22 sections.
I was just going to say, I know it.
Are they on the road to stardom?
That same music they used for the tour is the same.
With all the
Oh,
favourites
yeah.
still here in the main field, there seems no cause
And I've looked for it.
concern yet.
I have to admit, I've looked for it to find it, just for the point of this podcast to be able to play it.
When I worked at a bike shop, my boss hated music. It distracted him.
Really?
But he had one that he would listen to, and it was the soundtrack to
The Tour de France soundtrack.
Tour de France soundtrack.
It was a tour. The album was Tour de France.
Yeah,
I
he had a
remember.
cassette tape. And
Yeah.
put it in a little like boom box, you know.
Play it.
If so, it's a sentiment not being shared here. As the race speeds towards Saint-Quentin in near-perfect conditions, there's a high speed of over 26
We would have to
miles an hour.
wait,
And there was
correct me
already
if I'm wrong,
feeling
at least
there was
a
no
week.
ordinary
At
race
least, I think
at
2
Paris
weeks
Roubaix.
after Paris Roubaix, because they had. Well, look at the fine editing and mixing. Oh,
You can't rush fucking perfection, man.
greatness, yeah.
Do you want a John Tesh soundtrack, or do you not
Yeah.
want a John Tesh
Yeah.
soundtrack? I mean, we could just throw it to you right now, but it won't have the music. Fine, I'll wait.
Australian Alan Piper, the pace setter here,
Alan
is
Piper.
the best known in this
Yep.
front group.
The director
Yet
sportif.
he's ranked only 94 in
Oh,
the
is he?
world.
With
Yeah.
who?
Others
He was with BMC for a long time, and then when BMC left, he went to UAE. He's had a second bout of cancer. I think he was supposed to come back this year, but after Paris Roubaix last year, he was going through chemo and stuff. So. Yeah. He lives in Gerasbergen, where the Chapel Muir is.
Okay.
That's his-
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here we go. It's Roy.
Racing a break, right?
Listen to this conversation.
Yeah, they got like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to probably pass and go up there. If you're in the back before the cobbles, will you call me up so I can move up? Just like fake it?
Just like fake it.
Yeah, because they were low on the totem pole, so, you know, the caravan, they're in the very back, right? And so the only way they can get up front is if they get called for a flat or a mechanical or something, and he's trying to time it, Mike Neal, so that
So
it's,
he can be-
so he can get up front, and then they'll say, he's, you know,
Yeah.
you can go to your breakaways up, you can go chase down your rider.
Fake it.
Yeah,
So Roy's 5 minutes up.
Andy Hampsten.
5 already,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when tour riders
Yeah, I'm going to go up there and
had to
talk
do
him,
these.
And I'll be back.
Okay, 'cause I'm not sure who's in there, but I didn't see anyone big. But
No.
Kelly and VANDERAERDEN are just hanging out.
I just want to talk to him and make sure he's just sitting on and, tell him to hang in there. Maybe he can do a good job.
I think it's kind of like, we were talking about, 'cause he'll make it.
No, that's great. Yeah, it'll be perfect.
It's amazing how much time they have already. He'll be way past the first speed before they get
Yeah. No, he'll be fine.
Mike Neal.
Mike Neal. He was a strange bird, I heard.
You know what? I'm gonna name drop here a little. He is a Facebook friend of mine, but
Is
he's
he?
one of those Facebook friends where you don't really know the person.
Yeah.
You just press add friend and hope they're like, oh, he knows like 5 other guys, so
Yeah.
it must be one of those old guys. So
Yeah.
I should talk to him, get him.
Yeah,
It'd
that would
cool
be
to talk to him
interesting.
about this.
Now, he
Especially-
Mike Neal raced in Europe, I think, before anybody else. He was in Italy.
Yeah.
But if you get an interview, that would be a good one. I mean, he really was the backbone of this team, in my
Yes.
opinion. But, I mean,
Mike Neal has caught up with his rider Roy Nickman, who is still in the breakaway.
he wasn't your traditional person.
Really?
In the second, yeah. That's
Well,
what
this
That's
team
what I read.
wasn't,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job. Listen, just work a little bit. I don't take any hard pulls.
Right.
Come through normal. Save it. You're one of the best guys in this break.
I'm doing what I can to sort of bullshit my way.
Yeah.
Pissing and eating at the back.
Yeah.
Did he say bullshit my way?
Go through what you have
Pissing
to.
and
You're
eating
one
in
of
the
But
back.
before that, I
Yeah.
think he said
You're
bullshit.
going to be great on the cobbles now.
There we go. So he's the best one in here. So we have Alan Piper, Thomas the Tank WEGMULLER.
Yeah.
These guys all have credentials in Paul Mayers, which is fine. He's a director. He has to say that to encourage him. Hey,
Yeah.
you're the best guy in here. He's the youngest. I think he was 22 on this.
Really?
And he's 22 years old.
After some 3 hours and nearly 60 miles in civilized
See, that's just bullshit, man. That road is
Look at
terrible.
Alan Piper. And that's it. So a lot of these, like, what they do is like they have each team has 2 cars, follow cars now. And so they'll put one car up ahead.
Yeah.
So like the interview in 2018 I had with Dieter that one time, and you put it on there. Cars were coming by ahead of the race, so they could get back onto where the pavement starts.
8 minutes is pretty
Huge. So that's Troisville. It's changed now, but in Troisville, that was the first section of Pave. So they're probably looking, I think at that point, they're probably 120 kilometers away from the finish, which is a huge lead.
So again, for somebody who's never been there in person, I'm assuming in order to link all these sections, it is a veritable jigsaw puzzle across the country.
It goes back and forth and back and forth. Yeah. So there's guys that are masters at this, like the guy, if you ever see Luke Wanta.
The Wanty Gobert
guy.
Gobert
guy. He knows like in Flanders and Roubaix, so he's always on TV. You can see him like 5 to 10 times because he's got it figured out. He's done this for so long. So Doug Shapiro, look at his chest is full of everybody else's. He's just a true domestique. Yeah. Everybody's warm wear.
It just looks
nice helmet.
Yeah. It looks like, in some points, just seeing people running around, and I don't mean this to sound as horrible as it's going to sound. That guy running down the road, it looks like the opening of Saving Private Ryan. Just like guys running around without an arm or something like that. Just going, over here. Just the chaos.
Yeah.
And that dust, it's a wet Paris-Roubaix is horrible,
it's
but
either
a dry
dusty
is even worse.
And dry is, it's dusty when it's dry, and it's just a mud bog. If not.
The feed station is the traditional spot for riders to abandon. Most never intended to go past this point. Among them, Andy Hampsten, who said prior to the start that Solem would be his final destination. He'll be joined by other 7-Eleven.
But he takes his food anyway.
Yeah.
I just helped Dog.
I love this.
In the beginning. And then somebody got a flat. Gave my wheel. Got dusty. It got really dusty. I couldn't. It was so dusty.
He blew his nose in his jersey.
Where you're going?
He just blew his nose in a teammate's jersey.
Yeah, that's
my
right.
lungs sound so good too.
Check out that.
He's gonna bend over coughing. Have you been there?
Oh yeah.
Crit cough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Crit.
Roger Dahlberg.
Yeah.
I'm not up to speed on that.
For these riders, 2 sections of the cobbles were more than enough.
Just 2 sections. Andy Hampsten,
Yeah.
who won the Giro. In that same year. This same year. He wins
88. Yeah.
KNICKMAN leads the Great Escape. Perhaps the greatest seen in this race for over 2 decades.
Look at that.
Behind the
No
pack,
brake lever, shift lever combination.
Yeah.
Down tube shifting.
villages of France.
Now, they had clipless only
With certain
7-Eleven.
Oh, really?
7-Eleven, and I think maybe
Lobby Claire did back then because
but Lobby
because
Claire
of the look.
this is not even Lobby Claire at this point.
Sure it is.
Lobby Claire's not in this race.
Oh, really?
No, they
Because
had
Le Mans was.
no, hang on, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
got
there.
him.
They're
Yeah.
there. Yep. So Lobby Claire had to look.
Yeah, they had look because of the Bernard Tapie owned
Yep.
look. I could just see John Tesh in his studio, just with a very, very serious, like sex face while he's playing this music, just like, oh yeah, pursed lips.
There he is, Dirk de Mol, who became Trek Segafredo, but Trek for years was their director for a long time, and now he's with you speak Katusha, now it's Israeli First Nation or whatever.
Yeah, Startup Nation.
Startup Nation,
Yeah.
First Nation. It's nothing but Native American.
All right.
What one?
I want to switch to the good stuff.
All right. What? Good stuff. Don't. It's just.
Oh, that's just the video.
This is VHS, man. You got to get used to this shit.
I might have it on VHS somewhere, believe it or not.
I did, but all those have been.
Only once a year. To lead
No,
on the
back
best
of my-
all
I got it,
roads
I
is
got
an
it.
advantage. And Roy Nickman, young in years and mature in mind.
Now they're just.
leads
There's
the
that
high-speed
famous
charge
bridge
to the
over the
forest of
Arenberg Forest.
Arenberg.
There's a like.
Okay.
100 miles completed.
Oh,
That pothole's gone now.
The speed has been constantly high.
Look at these guys bunny
Cobbles
hopping.
making
Oh,
steering
could you imagine if you...
Yeah.
Oh!
The danger
There goes a
zone to
$2,000 camera. Yeah. Watch Roy.
less than a mile into the forest
He's
of pain,
putting a gap. Oh,
KNICKMAN
nope.
becomes a casualty.
Oh.
Game over.
Banging and bouncing
Beep,
has
beep.
caused him to blow out.
Flat.
And a cruel piece of luck. So typical of this race
You know what?
is again shaping
I
the
never
outcome.
even thought about it.
KNICKMAN is left on the
Roy's,
right
you know,
side.
Roy had a pretty impressive
Race
career.
speeds away.
What would have changed in Roy's life if that flat never happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Nobody knows, but
yeah. He was pouring in a lot of gas. I think he was pretty excited. I think there's Alan Piper, just bunny hop. But I think he was putting in a lot of gas early. This is ARENBERG 4, so there's a ways to go. So you look at it nowadays, he would have probably bridged. But see all the follow vehicles, they don't allow that anymore. People can't, they have it barriered off in
Yeah.
ARENBERG 4
Yeah.
now. It's a different game now.
And this is also, it looks like before there was that substantial path on the side there. It's like they cut into the forest a little bit itself.
Yep. They have a bike path now that they paved. But it's closed off to traffic.
Oh, the cars. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That's what Woot had to go through last year. Remember,
Oh, yeah.
he had a problem in ARENBERG Forest, and then he had to work his way through. He had a mechanical, and he borrowed a teammate's bike, and then he made a bike change. And getting back on, he had problems. Here he is, Dirk de Mol.
Still 6 minutes behind, the main pack rushes at the forest at almost suicidal speed. Panicked by the lead of the breakaways. For them, the dangers are magnified tenfold.
Boom. Jesus. I would be the asshole standing on the side of the road going,
If you were a cameraman,
look out for the hole!
if you were a cameraman, where would you set your camera up?
Right at that
Right
hole.
there. Yeah, perfect.
Fuck it. Go
Oh,
pose.
there we go. And this Claudio Chiappucci.
Really?
Look,
So
that right
all
there.
these skinny little
and
climbers did
he's
these.
got a hairnet, and he's like rubbing his head.
Face of Albert Ackerman,
Ackerman's
sure to
in the
keep
deep.
reputation of Paris Roubaix.
He's missing a few teeth. He's going to pull one out here pretty soon. Watch. Here he goes. Oh, there we go. Spit it out. Oh.
This is why we love bike racing.
Yeah.
Just the beauty of it.
And this
Oh
is
my
what got me into bike racing right there.
Setters always get caught. The question is when.
Thomas the Tank. Now, Dirk de Mol hangs out in the back the whole time. You're still grooving to the
I'm
tunes.
fucking rocking to it,
A
man.
new lesson to learn, and often that lesson is harsh.
And I love the script work that these guys did.
Lots of
It's so dramatized.
Yeah.
I love it.
Atala. You see the Atala?
Oh, yeah, the prison kit.
Yeah.
Now, you heard the old rumors about the Atala bikes
They were made by
in prison,
Yeah.
in prisoners.
Yeah.
But there would be rumors that the bikes actually, the prisoners just
Had
out of
flies
spite
in
would
them?
no, they would like shit in the seat tubes and then finish the bike
Oh,
with,
that's funny.
with human feces in your
best
frame.
pair of glasses ever made for cycling. Right there.
Which was what? The
Rudy
Rudy Projects?
Yeah.
I had a pair. I don't know where they went.
I had two pair.
In cycling,
I bought them because of Bernardino.
I know.
Paris Roubaix, a breakaway this large after the forest is uncommon.
Although the Oakleys were pretty badass too.
No.
And the longer
Rudy's.
the leaders maintain the gap,
I had some
the more
factory
likely
pilots.
they succeed.
Look at those. They're like menacing. Wrapped around, you could never see the eyes. You know. And that is Orshi. They just turned into. I know that corner.
Hey, Gooder,
Confidence increases.
make some retro style frames, man. I know that some old fucks like me and you would buy them.
I would. Now, you said on the last podcast that the last interview that your son bought some freshly baked man buns.
Yeah.
I bought those.
You did? No shit.
Yeah. I bought those. I've had them for about like a couple of weeks now.
I bought 2 of the neck gaiters to wear to the grocery store
Oh, did you?
over my face. Yeah, my wife and I went today, and we honestly, we felt really stupid when we first walked up to the grocery store. But then we saw that
Everybody else is
everybody else
stupid.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
Situation of chasing down one of his own teammates.
And the lady, I was buying booze, and the lady made me give her my ID. I said, "Wow, thank you." She goes, "No, it's just because I can't see your face, and I need to try and prove that you're who you say you are." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah, because you look just like your picture.
yeah."
All right. Did you say no? You should keep that. You
Yeah.
should keep that scarf.
Keep that
across
scarf.
your
Oh,
face.
I've got a terrible driver's license picture. I'll show that to the listeners someday. Laurent Fignon. Okay, now back to the race. We've got this break with what kind of an established?
So there's only, I think, 5 guys now. There's Thomas the Tank always in the front.
Yeah.
Dirk de Mol. Then those two. One's a Danish guy.
Has taken its toll on athletes for years, but cyclists aren't the only casualties. As we unfortunately found out,
That's why you have rental
the
cars.
pounding
Yeah.
either.
Fucking Skodas.
So many bikes and cars are easily towed away and put back together. The cyclists have found this road to Roubaix unforgiving.
Think this guy's
breakdowns, both physical and mental, are not
sporting
so
a
easy
hell
to
of a
win.
mullet, though. Look
Yeah.
at that. That's awesome. You remember that team?
Roland?
Yeah.
I don't remember who was on it, though.
It was a smaller
is
team.
now well within reach.
Here we go.
Across these fields of
God.
northern France, many battles have been won and lost. But in
The
sporting
man was
terms,
he was a
this year's
one-man
Paris
symphony.
Roubaix is proving
Yeah, he
one
was.
of the most interesting of them all.
Now, look at
Unknown to
who's up
taken their
front
chance
every
early,
time they
the
flash
only
back
way
to
they
the
were
Wegmuller.
to win.
Yeah.
He was a motor.
Now the favourites must
My
recover
favorite
from the
rider
shell
at this
shock
time
of
period is just behind Kelly. You will see him in a little bit.
twice in 4
Edwig van
years.
Hooydonk.
The day so far
The next year he
about
wins
his
Flanders
usual rivals.
for the first time
Now
in
his thoughts
'89.
have to be elsewhere.
I think he's like 21-22 right there.
So yes, Sean Kelly is full bore, full gas chasing. Obviously, the communications
Look at
between
this.
the
Watch.
whoa.
It was a close one.
The team discussion obviously wasn't, hey, Tommy's doing the lion's share of the work.
I think you're supposed to be in the break, so other teams chase. So Kelly, and then now Kelly's like,
Sean's chasing.
oh God, yeah.
But usually,
Because-
the director would find a way to speak. This is obviously before race radios.
Yeah.
But would find a way to get up to Tommy and say, "Hey, sit up." Sean's chasing,
Yeah.
but no.
Nope. Now, look at this Wyman team guy. There'll be another shot. I want you to see. I think that's Stephen Rooks.
No, that was what's his name? The cyclocross guy's
Oh, hey, Vanderpool.
Matt Audrey Vanderpool.
Andre Vanderpool.
Oh, yeah,
Daddy.
Daddy.
They will show a Wyman character. And
Really?
I want you to take a look at it. It's grainy. Sean Kelly, of course. Now, the posters he had to Sean Kelly,
Yeah.
what jersey did he have?
Well, I cut it all out of Winning Magazine, so I
Oh,
had
I
just
see.
consistent ones. I had a lot of costs, a lot of skill.
PDM? No?
Not a whole lot of PDM kit. But his cost years were some of his best.
Guido Bontempi, who's known as a sprinter.
Yeah.
Frustration and desperation is all that remains behind in the pack. Guido Bontempi, perhaps the fastest sprint finisher in the world, has escaped alone.
Look at how big these guys ran, like 60 centimeter. No one runs 60 centimeter bike frames. You know, that's what I did at the time.
Frames?
Yeah, like somebody 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
like 182, you know, 1 meter 82.
Yeah, oh, okay.
83 in there.
Ever seen in this race. With Bontempi going it alone,
I think you're going to see this Wyman guy coming up.
That's a gigantic gap with that little
Yeah,
timeline.
but they cut off 4 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
Of the unthinkable.
You've never ridden the pave.
Nope. And I was
We were
going to
going
this
to this
year.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
for bringing that up. I was
Charlie
pretty
Brown.
excited. Yeah.
It's all my
I was thinking I
fault.
need to bring like 2 different, you know, wheel sets, but I thought, no, I'm just going to settle on one.
The shitty ones.
No,
The heavy shitty
no.
ones.
Let's
Really?
go in with carbon.
Really?
Yep.
See, I was going to bring heavy shitty wheels.
Really? I know that we do most of our riding in Flanders, not on Paris Roubaix
Yeah.
courses, and that's the nastier cobbles and stuff. So
To 4 minutes, but the final segment of cobbles is
Johnny,
way to reality.
adjust the goddamn tracking.
Realization that there is now no immediate threat from the chase group.
That's why we had kids.
Yeah,
that's why
that's right.
our parents had
It's
kids.
a remote.
So we'd get up and adjust the tracking, or
Here we go.
change the
Good
channel.
music again. Urgent.
I fucking know these. It's coming back to me like a really bad acid high.
Yeah.
What they have done naturally for many years. Kelly, sometimes referred to as the cannibal, still refuses to give up.
Look at his position, though.
So up high.
Oh, yeah. And no leg extension. They tried to, like, fit him, and he's like, nope. Nope. Not going to do it. Crit bars.
Yeah. That guy grits his teeth, you know he's...
Yeah, he's wincing.
Yeah.
Thomas WEGMULLER from Switzerland tries for his greatest moment and attacks with 10 miles to go.
Here he goes.
He's chased by Dirk de Mol, the Belgian who's been conspicuous by his absence at the front of the group.
Yeah.
He's now the only one with the energy to react after 100.
Yeah, because he's been sitting on the wheel. But his job wasn't... Yeah, I mean, he just got the...
Wasn't to drive the brake.
Yeah.
And if tradition had been followed,
Now it's like, you got it. Now, here's the other thing. I think it was Roger de Vlaeminck came to him and pulled up in a car and said to Dirk de Mol, "You've got this."
Really?
Yeah. And he said, I had no clue where I was at, what was going on, because they didn't have radios back then. But when Roger de Vlaeminck, Mr. Paris Roubaix, says, "This is yours to win,"
Yeah.
he's like, then I thought, I have a chance to win Paris Roubaix.
I'd get a little man crush, kind of like, you said something to me.
Really?
Oh,
Hey, can you give me an autograph at the end of
thanks.
the race? Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. de Vlaeminck.
in this race without precedent, there is one more move to make. And FIGNON finally breaks clear of the field, but with no hope of catching the two survivors up ahead. For them, the streets of Roubaix at
Okay.
last are beneath
So they don't finish in the velodrome.
One thing is for sure,
This was
the result
not on the
will
track.
not
Yeah.
be named
Because the
on
main
the
sponsor of that,
but
this
that's
ends
by the
in
Dirk de
Roubaix
Mol
in front of their
Thomas
factory.
WEGMULLER.
I can't remember what it was.
really? Okay.
Yep. So there were several years, like
Here we
4
go.
or 5
Here we
years.
go.
Yep.
Paul.
Watch it to the right, and now what would you have done in that situation?
Swore.
I would have backpedaled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, hindsight, because all you're doing is sucking that thing up more. I would.
So for those who don't know what the hell just happened, Tommy WEGMULLER, a random plastic bag just went right into his rear mech, his derailleur.
another reason to use reusable bags. If that's not bad enough. But de Mol doesn't attack. No. They're just pulling it more in there. He can't shift.
So he's trapped in one.
Yeah, one gear. It just skips.
Oh.
And a reason to wear helmets right there. We got, just in a couple of minutes, or within a minute, reusable bags, wear a helmet. We've got all kinds of
Yeah,
advice we
it's a
can give.
goddamn after-school special is what this is.
Look at his cadence.
Big old master gear.
Yeah, he can't shift. This is Thomas in the lead. And he waited to 200 meters. Now listen to the rejoice that noise that de Mol makes.
Oh my God.
has raced for 6 different teams in an effort to win his chance.
6 teams at that point.
Okay.
Now,
I'm going to throw a little theory out there. Remember what that incredibly close Tour de France finish did to Fignon? It kind of crushed him.
Yeah.
We never heard of Tommy WEGMULLER much after this.
92, he was in a breakaway with Jackie Durand, who ends up winning it. And Tommy WEGMULLER gets popped.
No shit.
The longest breakaway in the Ronde van Vlaanderen.
Fignon finished third. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Roy Nickman finished 14 minutes, 12 seconds off the pace.
Joe Parkin. There's a name from the past.
Yeah. Now, have you read that book?
I have not.
So there's I think it was Cycling Tips had, or some, was it Santana?
This is what we had to deal with in the old days, Johnny,
there.
about videos that sometimes just froze. It's still, this isn't.
Supposedly those cobbles are about 30 pounds. Can you imagine racing 260 kilometers? You're exhausted, and you have to lift that above your head.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This was what we had to deal with,
Right
Johnny.
there.
So just remember, these were our videos back in the day, and I'm assuming the entire broadcast is completed. All right, so we're going to switch back to our onboard camera here, so people don't necessarily have to watch all this static.
Yeah.
Takeaways. First of all, you chose this for a very specific reason.
Yeah.
Was it because of the drama of the finish and the bag and that horrible?
Yeah, and it was. I think I don't know. There was, for me personally, just being the time where I was so insaturated with cycling, I couldn't get enough. I mean, I watched the other ones, but I started getting a taste of what cycling was in '88 when I'm on the team and team tactics. And like you pointed out, like Kelly, why is he chasing down his teammate?
Yeah.
But there's plans back then, and this is a fine example of lack of communication that they had back in those days without radio.
Yeah.
I mean, they would get like a chalkboard saying 8 minutes. You can imagine these guys like, what the hell? It was
shit, we
just
have
5 minutes
Yeah.
last time we heard. Now
Yeah.
it's 8 minutes. We got to hit. So racing was completely different then. And also 2018, when did I tell you I went to Belgium?
What?
Yeah. Dave and I went.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dave and I went there, and we went on the Carrefour de l'Arbre, and that's a section. It's usually sector 5 or 4, depending. And it's 2.2 kilometers, and it's terrible. It's awful. And there's a big cafe in the end, at the end of that sector. And we walked down, and we watched Recon. We watched these guys riding in the Recon. And when we came back, the Trek bus was there. And Dirk de Mol was there, and Dave goes, I'm going to go shake his hand. And I mean, this is how – the strange thing about cycling, this is a professional sport. It is so accessible for the average guy.
Approachable. Yeah, riders are. Yeah.
And so Dave says that, and I turned around, and I started looking around, and looking in the ditch and everything. He goes, what are you doing? I'm trying to find a plastic bag so he can give me his autograph. I wanted, and so this year I was going to get a plastic bag and carry it with me and make sure if I do see him, I'm going to have him sign him because I think he would.
Do you think he'd get the joke right out of
I
the
think
gates?
he would.
Really?
Yeah. If not, I would explain it to him, and I might have like missing teeth when I came back.
I was going
to
to say, do you think he'd appreciate the joke? It's like,
No,
hey,
I
can you
think
sign
he-
this?
I
Because the only
think
way
he
you
would.
fucking won is
Yeah.
because of Tommy Megmiller got a bag in his.
Exactly.
But man, I don't know. It'd be an interesting reaction.
Yeah.
I would love to get that one.
Well,
on
I will
film.
do it if we're able to make it. Everything lines up. The stars line up. I'm bringing a plastic bag from Spokane, Washington, if they still make them by then.
No.
And then I'll have them sign it and I'll frame it. It'll be awesome.
That actually would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It
It has to be white because that's what.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
God. Yeah, and the great thing, and if the listener or the viewer wants to go back and look at that segment again, you can see the bag in the distance as the clip's coming. The chances of that
I know.
fucking thing landing right there,
I know.
and there's some poor schmuck who just finished a couple JoJo potatoes who threw their bag onto the concrete and just went,
Joe's.
holy shit! I just fucked that guy's race big time. That's my accent of anybody on the
Yeah,
side
that's
of Paris
just a-
Roubaix.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu! I fucked him up. I remember watching this, and that's what it was. The music,
It all went. This is the last year John Tesh Music was involved with American production because it went to ABC. ABC took over on the tour.
Gotcha.
And
John went to Lifetime.
Yeah, and some like Heart Radio or something.
Yeah.
Love Line
You're
or
doing
whatever. I don't
soundtrack for Meredith Baxter Birney movies.
know. Yeah, exactly.
Look that one up too, millennials. I just, you know what? This is obviously no replacement for being there,
No.
but
Well, it's our version of what I spent. What was it? 30 minutes last Sunday watching Zwift. Ronda. So hopefully, this is my idea. Don't take it out on Pat. I thought I pitched this to him, and he's like a sucker. I don't know. I told him I'd bring him some beer, And so,
and you
it
can't
probably
do all.
didn't go over very well, but nevertheless,
No, don't
know?
ever apologize. And for the listener or the viewer, I would like your input on these. This was our first shot. We went into this
I
just
can
saying,
polish this up.
"What the fuck?" No, just
it
let's
works.
just see what happens,
Yeah.
man. Let's see what it's like to put something like this together. And so I think it's kind of a fun way to do it. It's an entire bike race in under an hour, and it's just. If you're not up to speed on the history of the sport, get on YouTube during these lockdown times, because as you know, what did you just send me recently? And I haven't watched it yet, and I apologize.
It was
These are your recommendation time.
Yeah, so it was a what was it? The Road to Roubaix. If you look it up, it comes in 2 parts, and because I'm very tight wadded, I'm not going to pay for it. And I think it was Versus, or I think it was Versus at that point in time. It was started up. There was a road to Paris, which was Versus version of the Tour de France, and they followed Lance. So this is a Discovery team, and this is for George Hincapie's period, but it dwarfed into a little bit more covering the race than actually Paris Roubaix.
I'm bringing stuff up on the screen right now for those who are watching the video. Are there any of these?
Road to Roubaix, you could do the trailer a little bit.
Okay.
But
these are
the second part, I had to go to a different site, and it really it pulls away from the Discovery team. I mean, there's interview with riders. That's Matty White. I think that's what they have right there. No,
up here?
No, I think no.
Yeah.
But he's interviewed anyway. He's the director of Mitchelton Scott.
And if you haven't seen A Sunday in Hell,
got to.
You're not
That is
a full-blood born cyclist. So those are some of the recommendations we could piece together.
I have that on VHS.
Do you really?
Yep. And Stars and Water Carriers.
Oh, there was a podcast I didn't want to have on the screen.
Nope.
But Paul, this was kind of fun. Again, and if it's just personal therapy for the two of us, fine. Sorry, listener, that you had to pay so much to enjoy this.
We only have one listener?
No, I was in broadcasting school. You're supposed to speak to the individual, and that's where I learned. I'm supposed to make it look like it's a personal conversation I'm having with this poor asshole sitting in their cubicle somewhere,
because he has nothing better to do.
Than listen to a couple drunk idiots.
He's obviously not in Belgium right now at 74 degrees. Well, not now because it's nighttime there.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we're going next year. That's it. We're going next year.
Got to do it. Got to do it.
All right, you guys. That's our first attempt at old guys watching old races. Let us know what you think. Comment. If I were a millennial, I'd say, "Hey, bro, like and subscribe," or something like that. But I'm not gonna. So let's just keep holding on and praying for bike races to come back to us. Get out there and wash your fucking hands. Right. There we go.